There are news stories that seem to come out of nowhere, but have the power to shake the very foundations of Buckingham Palace. This time, it's not King Charles III, Prince William, or the Duke of Sussex who are making headlines. No, it's Peter Phillips, son of Princess Anne and grandson of Queen Elizabeth II, who has chosen this precise moment to make a decision that, at first glance, might seem private, but resonates intensely at the very heart of the British monarchy. He has informed his uncle, King Charles III, of his intention to marry Harriet Sperling. News that has sent shivers through the halls of Windsor Castle. Because behind this announcement, behind this name that is beginning to make its mark in the British tabloids, Harriet Sperling, lies much more than a simple love story. It is a discreet but symbolic turning point. An engagement that rekindles the public's fascination with the first generation of Elizabeth II's grandchildren, long overshadowed by the tumult of the royal elders. Peter Phillips, often nicknamed the most normal Windsor, is about to take a step that, paradoxically, could make him one of the most modern members of the dynasty. This marriage proposal was not made in the tumult of the spotlight, but with the measured calm that has always characterized Peter's public life. Yet, everything was done according to the rules, the king was informed. A gesture of respect, but also a fundamental step in royal protocol, even for a member who holds no title. We know that Charles III, although busy with his monarchical obligations and his recent health problems, took the time to listen, to reflect, and above all, to approve. But who is Harriet Sperling really? And why does this couple attract so much attention, to the point of becoming a source of media and popular interest? Harriet is a woman with a unique background, discreet yet magnetic, cultured, refined, and resolutely modern. Far removed from clichés, she embodies a new form of possible royalty, less formal, more human, more anchored in the realities of the 21st century. Their story is nothing like a traditional fairy tale. It wasn't a ball at Buckingham Palace that brought them together, but life, with its twists and turns, its accidents, and its wounds. Harriet Sperling and Peter Phillips met at a key moment in their respective lives, as they sought to rebuild, to refocus, to find meaning in a world where public exposure can sometimes become a kind of gilded prison. Harriet, a single parent with her daughter from a previous relationship, brought unexpected serenity to Peter's life. And he, who had gone through a divorce from Autumn Kelly, the mother of his two daughters, found in Harriet a deep sense of stability and love that continued to grow. But beyond the romance, this potential marriage could redefine the contours of Peter's role in the monarchy. Without a royal title, he has always lived on the fringes of the institutional sphere. Yet, he is increasingly called upon to represent the family at official ceremonies. Recently, he accompanied the king to several events where his dignified and measured demeanor was widely praised. Some even see it as a strategic repositioning, a desire by the crown to present a more accessible face, closer to the people. The announcement of his engagement therefore comes at a strategic time. As King Charles III attempts to modernize the monarchy while preserving its essence, the union of Peter and Harriet could become a powerful symbol, that of a royalty that adapts, that welcomes figures outside the traditional aristocracy, and that values sincerity over protocol. Reactions within the royal entourage were mixed. Princess Anne, Peter's mother, reportedly welcomed the news with calm and discernment. Known for her pragmatism and outspokenness, she has never been a fan of conventions for the sake of appearances. Her son, whose choices she has always supported, reportedly received the green light without difficulty. Princesses Beatrice and Eugenie, Peter's close cousins, also reportedly welcomed the announcement enthusiastically. It is even rumored that Zara Tyndall, Peter's younger sister, has already met Harriet several times during family weekends and has shown herself to be very supportive of their relationship. But among the general public, a different dynamic is taking hold. The announcement of this engagement has sparked renewed interest in a man who has long remained in the shadows. Peter Phillips, with his understated appearance, his businessman background, and his deliberate lack of a title, suddenly becomes an endearing figure. He embodies this generation which, while respecting its royal origins, chooses to make something personal, measured and controlled. Some royal commentators, always quick to read between the lines, see this union as a discreet laboratory for the monarchy. A space in which it is possible to experiment with a new form of royal union, without the burden of protocol, but with a strong symbolic significance. Especially since Harriet Sperling, although discreet, is not lacking in assets. Committed to social causes, sensitive to educational and environmental issues, she could eventually establish herself as a figure of soft influence, similar to Meghan Markle, but without the controversies. The wedding date has not yet been set, but according to sources close to Clarence House, everything suggests that preparations are progressing rapidly. Some are suggesting a ceremony next spring, in a rural setting, far from the pomp of Westminster Abbey, but charged with emotion. It is not out of the question that King Charles III will attend in person, demonstrating his clear and avowed support. Camilla, always keen to encourage peaceful family relationships, is also said to have congratulated the couple. As the United Kingdom questions the future of its monarchy, Prince William prepares for an increasingly active reign, and tensions with Harry persist. This gentle, almost intimate announcement breathes a breath of optimism. It shows that it is still possible, within the royal family itself, to find a balance between tradition and modernity, between duty and true love. What if Peter Phillips, the man without a title, were to unwittingly become one of the most beloved faces of the future monarchy? A figure of unity, discretion, and humanity, capable of reconciling the British with an institution often perceived as rigid. His marriage to Harriet Sperling may not be just a simple family event. Perhaps, unseen by anyone, it is the prelude to a broader transformation. But in this setting where history mixes with love, one question remains: will this union succeed in preserving its authenticity while, despite itself, bearing the weight of the expectations of an entire nation?